Good evening. We're at the end of the day actually, rather than at the start. So, yeah, hope you're well. So it was supposed to be knock-off time, but anyway, we've been disking up, doing a bit of spraying and disking up the rice country, getting it organised for getting it knocked into shape. And I was just here. I was fueling the Magnum tractor up, and yeah, I could hear a bit of a squeaky noise coming from the direction where Brendan was. And anyway, I rang him and got him to pull up, and yeah, he's done a bearing on the disc. So what they've actually got, they've got a double tapered roller bearing in each end of these things, and then that's what the other end should look like. And then yeah, they've got a big square shaft that runs up the middle of it, and then that's what sort of holds it. There's just 4 bolts in one end and a single bolt in the other end, and that holds it up into the essentially into the disc. So I have actually seen them in the past where the bearing's gone and it hasn't. I don't think we've ever done it, but in my previous life as a welder, yeah, have seen these, chewed pretty well round. That one that's had a bit of a go on it, but it's actually probably not too bad. So, but what we've done in the past, you just build them up with weld and just grind them square again. So it's not a big deal if it was chewed off. So it's always the way, but we've basically got to strip the gang down. So what they've got is there's 246 big long rods that run from one end of the gang to the other, and then you've got the disc and then the spacers that hold it on. So luck has it that it's the bottom end that the bearing's failed in. So anyway, what I'm going to do is the day's about cooked, but I'm going to actually get it in the workshop now and strip it, and try and get the bearings back in it. Luckily I've actually got a couple of sets of bearings here that I've had in the cupboard for a while. I'll just show you one more. Look in here. Yeah, the guys have knocked off, so just bear with me a sec. So yeah, that's what the bearing looks like, or should look like. So we'll pack that with grease, and I've got seals there. I've actually got a set here for both ends, which is pretty cool. So it's not a big hiccup, but yeah. Anyway, it'll take longer to pull the gang down than what it will to actually fix it. But anyway, I'll grab the telehandler and pick that thing up, and we'll get it in here. So that's how it is, just with the rods up the middle of it. Each space has got the 6 holes in it, and then each disc's got 6 holes in it. The old plough's probably actually due for a new set of discs. You can see, there's one up the end here that's probably a bit better, but you can see the scallop in the disc. There's a bit of a wave there. That should actually be probably out here. So the discs are front discs are pretty well worn, but we don't use it a hell of a lot, so it's sort of not a sort of thing that we're too stressed about. It's still doing a pretty good job the way it is, but yeah, you can see one bolt here's been broken off at some stage. So anyway, it's come apart pretty easily, so which I knew it would, but it's just a bit fiddly. I've sort of got gloves on because from memory it's good at pinching fingers and that sort of stuff, so putting it back together will be worse. So anyway, we'll get the house, get it fully stripped, and see if we can get the centres out of the housing. So we've got it apart all right. Now the problem I've got is there's different bearings for each end, which is a pain in the bum, because I've got 2 sets of bearings for for the bigger end that hasn't failed, which is that fella there, but I don't think I've got one for the other end. So I'll have a bit of a scratch around and see what I can find, but we might have to might have to head to town in first thing in the morning and see if we can get one. Yeah, I'll see what I've got in the shipping container here, but I reckon we might be out of luck somehow. Alright, I've had a couple of cracks at that with a hammer and chisel to try and move it, but it was probably put in when Noah started ploughing, possibly. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the gas and I'll just try and nick that out a ring. I forget to actually point the camera at you so you can see where I'm pointing. You can see the bearings there, but what I'm going to do is I'll just get the oxy torch and I'll just blow it down there. And yeah, hopefully that'll get it to come out. The other thing I could do, if the welder was here, which might even work easier, run a bead of weld around the inside of it, and that will actually shrink that cone, and it might come out just as easy. So I might actually try that first and see how we go. Yeah, but bit of background for those that are new to the channel. Yeah, I'm a qualified welder, and I did my trade at just a general engineering workshop. So yeah, when it comes to doing this sort of stuff, it was, common occurrence. We were doing it every day of the week. Although we did a lot of welding, we did a lot of this like general farm repair stuff as well. So it's come in handy later in life, obviously. So yeah, this sort of stuff, engines and headers and that sort of stuff, a different kettle of fish, but this sort of maintenance, it sort of comes second nature, which is handy, because I'm not relying on someone else having to take it to town to a workshop or something like that and getting someone to fix it. We can fix most things ourselves, which is helpful. So anyway, we'll see if we can get the camera going while we do this, and hopefully it'll come out all right. Morning. All right, we've been to town early, which the guys in at Cobram Bolt Supply were open at 7, I think. So yeah, I was in there by 7:30, and yeah, saw the guides there. So yeah, that's the new one. Yeah, so I'll stick them in the press. I've got a couple, so I've got one spare just in case another one goes. But yeah, I'll stick them in the press, and then we'll start and put the put the puzzle back together again. All back together, all done. Yeah, we checked the other bearings on the other 3 gangs, and that they seem alright. So fingers crossed, it's all happy days. Anyway, it's we've lost 3 or 4 or 5 hours. It hasn't been too bad. I would have probably sat on it last night for a while just to try and get it worked up. But anyway, it is what it is. So no, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.